Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on So Tell Us Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hey everybody, welcome. It is another beautiful Tuesday morning and it is So Tell Us Time. So it's a great Tuesday morning. Today we're going to be talking about play to win. Now, you might think, yeah, duh. Don't we always play to win? Well, yeah, you would think so, but honestly, it's amazing to Troy and I how many times that we have consulted with a business that they are just kind of floating along.
Yeah.
They're maybe playing not to lose, right? It's not even that they're like, well, I don't know. Even their mentality is kind of like, well, I've got some real big dogs in the industry. And, they just start to get down on themselves before ever even trying. And I really think that comes down to the psychology of we're afraid to fail, right?
Yeah.
We're afraid to fail. So instead of failing, we just don't try. We don't put in effort. That's just my own thoughts. That's not necessarily what Troy's going to be talking about today, but we want to play to win, people. We want to have motivation. We want to have a game plan. We want to have a clear line of sight of how we are going to, not just compete with maybe those big dogs in the industry, but even exceed them or nip at their heels enough that they're like, this guy's annoying. He's taking our business, right? And so that's what we want to do. We want to play to win. We don't want to just be playing so that we're not losing. Maybe, and again, this might sound funny to some people, but other people might be, hey, just like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Because a lot of times we have these businesses and business owners that they have created a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they have created an income that they like, they enjoy. Maybe it's not everything they want, but it is comfortable.
Yeah.
And when you are comfortable and not being aggressive and looking, to be able to improve, then you're just playing not to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let Troy go into what it's all really about.
Yeah, no, that is it. So it was actually funny this weekend. My son, he's into this video game, him and his friends. And so I joined in their group and I play with them. And we were watching the World Championship Tournament.
Oh, the video game, which sounds funny as well, but probably the first prize was $100,000.
Oh yeah, I think one round the kid won $50,000 just for winning one round.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, so what was interesting though is one of the matches we were watching was one of the bottom ranked players, and he was going against the reigning champion from the last year, and it was interactive, so you actually got to vote who's going to win this match.
Oh.
And it was 90% voted for the reigning champion, 10% voted for, this bottom contender.
Interesting.
And even the announcers were kind of like, oh, we hope he does well, but it's pretty much over for this kid. And
underdog.
Yeah, and it was really interesting. So everyone just expected him to lose. So they come out, they start playing, and the contender comes out with this really bold move right off the bat. And the announcers were like, what is he thinking? This is ridiculous. And it was very bold. It was risky.
Yeah.
But everyone and they were kind of making fun of him. But then he started to win. And then he kept winning and he kept winning and he ended up, in fact, they even said oh my gosh, this is a Hail Mary, pass he's throwing. The odds of this actually working are almost nothing, but it actually worked.
Wow.
The kid won the first round.
Pulled it off.
Yeah. And basically he had nothing to lose. He was going against the big dog, the champion, and so he's like, I'm coming out and I'm going to play to win this game.
Well, and this reminds me of boxing, for instance.
Yeah,
these stories all the time. And when you're looking at a fighter, maybe not even just boxing, maybe you like the UFC, maybe you like boxing, whatever it is, that sport that you like. Or even football or basketball, there's the underdog. There's usually always the underdogs, right? And so there's the favorites to win, then there's the underdogs. A lot of times, if you're listening to these coaches talk to their fighters, let's just go with boxing.
Yeah.
The champ realizes, he fully understands he has everything to lose.
Yeah.
And truly nothing more to gain because he's the champ.
Right.
I mean, he will continue to be the reigning champ, but he's not going to gain any further. That. He's not becoming the ultra champ, you know. But the underdog has everything to win and nothing to lose because people expect him to come in and lose.
Totally.
So, I mean, boxing is a great example of this exact same thing.
Yeah, and that was this. So the kid came in, he won the first match. It's like best out of 3. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, he took out he's taking out the world champion, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, let's see this next match. This is going to be really interesting. Well, now he had something to lose.
Yeah.
Because he had just won one. And now, so the pressure was on. He's like, well, crap, now I got to win again because I got something to lose, right?
Yeah.
And he started playing defensive.
Okay.
He stopped playing to win.
Stop being aggressive. Gotcha.
Stopped being aggressive. And he started playing not to lose to the other guy. And it was interesting because, again, it's a video game. But it was like the other person was being aggressive and all of his moves were like defend, defend, defend. And then instead of attacking, he would wait for the next attack to come so that he could defend, defend, defend.
Yeah.
And he would never attack.
Interesting.
And so he lost. He didn't lose by much, but he lost because he changed his game plan, right?
Which is funny because it's probably best 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah, it was best 2 out of 3.
Dude, go balls to the wall on the second match.
Yeah.
Because then if you do possibly win that second round,
it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got into that mindset of like, now I got something to lose. Because at first I was going to lose anyways.
Right.
But I won. But now that I won, there's something to lose there. So he ended up losing the whole thing.
Yeah, and don't lose us, by the way. This is going to come around for business, and it's good. This is a good one.
All right. So, and that's what we're getting to right here is, talking about that attitude, that mentality of, are you playing to win?
Yep.
Or are you playing to lose or not lose?
Yep.
What you already have. So let's talk about that. In your business right now, are you actively marketing your business?
Right.
Or are you just kind of sitting back and going, no, I don't know what's going to happen with the economy. I don't know what's going to happen with, everything that's going on. So I'm going to hold the money. Yeah. I'm going to try and hold as much money as I can. And I'm going to stop spending on my marketing.
Ooh, inflation. I don't know what's going to happen with inflation, which we have another episode coming on later in like 1 or 2 Tuesdays about inflation and how to win through inflation. So make sure you tune in.
Exactly. The other question I have for you is, are you looking for new ways to market your business, or are you just resting on the marketing that has worked in the past? And we've seen this with a lot of clients. We've had those clients that are like, oh, no, I'm a referral business. I don't market until the referrals stop coming in.
Exactly.
Right? And I can't tell you how many times we've seen that, or how many times it's like, no, I don't do any other marketing. I just do this. And then all of a sudden that stops working. Right? And again, that's just you're not playing to win. You're just playing to not lose what you got.
Yeah. And people, and think about it. When you started your business, okay, you had nothing. Yeah. Right? You were putting everything you had into starting this business. You were working your butt off. And I get it. I get why people, they get to a comfortable level and then they're afraid. It's like they're on that chessboard, right? And they're afraid to make that move because they don't want to get their queen caught, because they're like, oh, I've made some really good ground. I've made some good money now. I've got a good clientele base. I don't want to, risk what I've built, to maybe potentially go bigger.
Yeah.
But what if I go smaller? What if I lose it all? Well, you started with nothing.
Right. In fact, I was talking to one of our sales guys just the other day, and he just gotten off a sales demo, and I go, how'd that go? And he goes, oh, it was horrible. And he goes, I literally asked the guy, I'm like, so, I assume you're here because you want more business. You want more customers. He's like, no, I don't. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, you don't you don't want more customers? And he's like, no, I'm busy. I'm as busy as I want to be. Like, if I get more customers, I'm going to have to hire employees, and I don't want to do that. And so, I'm good. And my sales guy is thinking like, why are you on this call then?
Well, and the funny thing is that person will come back when it's too late. And that's what's so ridiculous. And that is why so many businesses fail within, they say, the first 3 years, 2 years. But if you've made it 5 years, you've made it, kind of. And the reason that people fail so quickly is because of exactly that. Yeah. Like they're like, oh no, things are fine, things are good. Well, when the minute things stop being fine, you don't have money anymore.
Right.
But then that's when you want to come to us, or you want to go to somewhere and have them pull a rabbit out of their hat for you. I'm sorry, but like, no, when things are good is when you double down and spend the money.
I'm glad you used hat.
Well, I was thinking butt, but
yeah, I could see it in your face, and I was like, oh, he's going somewhere else. But you,
I'm just trying to keep PG. There might be kids listening.
So, but yeah, and again, there's nothing wrong with being owner operator, right? But you can still continue to grow. You can continue to, come up with new products and continue to raise prices because you're offering a better service. You can do those things and grow your business and not just be stagnant there. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about, pushing yourself and pushing your company to grow versus just resting and, trying not to lose what you already have. Because if that's the game you're playing, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, and it might be just by a little, like the little video game guy. He lost by just a little, but he freaking lost. Yeah. Like, do you want to go hard and go big? And if you do lose big at least, or at least go out trying versus, well, I almost had it. I mean, I held on for that much long and I barely lost it all.
Yeah.
Like, no, like what's the point? Either way, you lost it.
Yeah.
So why not go big? Why not grow your business? Why not get employees? Why not think about the future? The problem is most people are looking, to tomorrow and today even, or next week or next month, especially in the service industry. I'm full for the next 3 weeks, or I'm full for the next 5 days or whatever. And it's like, but until they're not full, they're not thinking about it. And then they're not full, then they're thinking about it. And it's like, I know a guy a friend and a client of mine that he has, once he's full. And then when he starts to get low, he goes and hits up invoices. He goes up and starts hitting up estimates.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I just want to follow up. And I'm just like, dude, you're always chasing. You're like, oh, I'm good. And I'm going to sit back, because I'm good. But then as soon as you're not, you're like, oh, I got to, and I'm like, no, you should have a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan.
Yep.
All right.
All righty. So that's all I got, Trevor. You want to go take us to the homework?
Let's do it. Take it to the homework. Okay. Implement one offensive strategy this week to put you above your competitors. Think of something that you can be doing that you can implement this week before the next Sotellus time that you could be, making sure that you're being somewhat aggressive, moving forward. As long as you're moving forward, you're not dying. You're not moving backwards, right? So let's all be doing that at the very least. And trust me, in our business as well, there's times where we're just a little stagnant or the growth is very small. And then there's years that the growth is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But one thing that is a constant with us is whether it's small or whether it's ridiculous, we are marketing hardcore, and we are not adjusting like those budgets. The biggest problem is people go, oh, I'm not making as much money, or I don't have as many as jobs. I got to cut back. Oh, I'm going to cut back on marketing. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Even when we've had small growth, that budget didn't change. During the pandemic, our competitors who literally spend over $100,000 a month on PPC shut it off. You know what that did for us, spending our $30,000, whatever it is? It shot us through the roof. We were getting all the leads. Okay? So anyways, that's my little rant for the day, guys. All right. Play to win. Thanks so much for being with us this week on Sotellus Time. We will catch you next week. Again, we've got a really good one coming up as well. talking about inflation, which is going to be a big one because we all are dealing with it, and we're going to continue to deal with it because it's just going to keep going up. So it's a big one on how to win during the inflation. All right, everybody, we love you. We appreciate you. Share, like, comment, and we will check you out on the next So Tell Us time.